It's Jen, and I'm going to talk to you about some disadvantages of homeschooling. So, first of all, let me just tell you that I'm Jen. I've been a homeschool mom for almost 2 decades. I've done this for a long time, and I'm involved in leadership in our homeschool community. So, I get to work with lots and lots of homeschool families. So, if you like talking about homeschooling and like topics, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and you can have the free resources of 7 Habits of Successful Students. All right, I'd love to share that with you for free. So there are both advantages and disadvantages to homeschooling. Let's talk really quickly about the advantages. You have complete freedom to do it however you want. You have time freedom. You have educational freedom. You can tailor their education to their learning style. You have true socialization for homeschoolers. You have your own boundaries, your own life. You don't have to live by anybody else's rules, okay? So there's like a million advantages, truly, and the family bond that you form is so incredible. And what are the disadvantages? Well, to be honest with you, there's not really that many. In almost 2 decades, I have found hardly any disadvantages. Let me tell you about a few things that bother some people. I first of all want to put down the myth that there is not socialization for homeschoolers. Homeschoolers are actually the most socialized and well-rounded people I have ever met, and I work with a lot of homeschoolers. They are out in the community daily talking to people of all ages from all people groups. They're volunteering, they're serving, they're going to clubs and co-ops, they're going on field trips. They're doing all kinds of things when other kids are sitting in school in a desk for 8 hours with the same 30 people. Is there anything wrong with the choice to go to government school or private school? No, of course not. But I just want to put down the myth of socialization for homeschoolers because that's not a problem, okay? I know for some people, they're really concerned about the cost of homeschooling. Homeschooling can be as free or as expensive as you want. There are some really expensive, wonderful online curriculums if you want a full, done for you, teacher-led, sit them in front of a computer type style. For us, that's not our style. We're a little bit more eclectic. We like putting together different things. Like this year, we're gonna be studying some stuff from Laura Ingalls Wilder. We're gonna be studying some stuff from World War I. We're gonna be taking some field trips. We're gonna be planning a European trip next year. So there's gonna be some stuff that we're gonna really tailor to our own children based on their learning style. We're gonna be doing some really specific Bible classes. And so the nice thing is that if you don't wanna spend a lot of money, you don't have to. There's actually parents who do unschooling, which is just totally learning through life, going about your day, not sitting down and doing any kind of formal school or curriculum. I kind of lean more in the eclectic. I have some Charlotte Mason because we like to do a lot of nature and a lot of real literature. We don't like a lot of textbooks, which are man-made and opinionated and may or may not be correct historically or accurate. So we really, really like to read real books, real literature from that time period to learn from people who were actually there, not somebody else's interpretation of it. I think that there's a lot of things that kids learn in school that they'll never use again. And I think there's a lot of things that are never taught to them. They need to learn how to budget and plan a menu and do a resume and go for a job interview and fix a car and sign a contract. Those are the kind of things kids need to know, along with cooking and baking and housework. Those skills are just as important as geometry or calculus or diagramming sentences, which they may or may not ever use again in life. So the cost of homeschooling can be wherever you want it to be. There are truly families who not only unschool, but they use the library as a great free resource. So a lot of people get their books almost exclusively from the library. And if you have a library card, you can do interlibrary loans and make the cost of homeschooling really, really low. A lot of people subscribe to things like PragerU or Netflix or Prime, and they watch a lot of documentaries if your children learn through that. There's all different learning styles, and you need to explore that so you can kind of tailor your curriculum around your children. But there's just not a lot of disadvantages. Yeah, it would probably be a disadvantage if you spent like $10,000 to homeschool each child. We don't spend anywhere near that. Yes, we buy museum passes. Sometimes we've done like horseback riding lessons or fencing lessons, or my daughter does ballet. We pay for all that, but we are really careful on what we spend, and the cost of homeschooling is not a problem. Socialization for homeschoolers is not a problem. To me, I would say the only disadvantage that I've ever seen is sometimes when you have kids at your house all day, they're not leaving and going to school. There's not a lot of downtime at your house to just do things like get some deep cleaning done, or maybe to get some projects done. So your time very much is around your family and homeschooling. And so if you're someone that just needs tons of alone time and tons of quiet time, homeschooling may not be for you unless you can tailor your schedule around that. If you're someone that likes to keep a perfect, pristine house at all moments, homeschooling may not be for you, because oftentimes you'll come into my house and there'll be a stack of dishes because my kids have been baking or doing a cooking project, or there may be a science experiment all over the table. They may have a puzzle going. They might have Scrabble going with some friends. They may be sitting at the kitchen table with 4 or 5 friends who are over working on homework together. They may be having a book club. There's just a lot of activity at our house all the time, not only with our own children, but other children and other teens who come to our house a lot. I love it that way. I love the activity. I love the interaction. I love all the fun that they're having. If you're not flexible, you either have to learn to be flexible or really question if you're going to be okay mentally homeschooling, because that truly is a big deal. Sometimes you have to lower your expectations a little bit, what you think the day might look like, what you think your house might look like, what you think your kitchen might look like, because when there's always people at your house and your house is lived in all the time, it's not always exactly how you want it. But you know what? It's exactly how I want it now. I want it full of laughter and full of kids and full of teens and full of cooking and projects and puzzles and games and people. And to me, it's perfect. But if that's not you, that could be a disadvantage of homeschooling. So as you're considering the advantages and disadvantages of homeschooling, just know that, in my opinion, the advantages far outweigh any disadvantages. And the cost of homeschooling is no big deal. Socialization for homeschoolers is no big deal. And there's lots of free online resources. If you don't know what curriculum to get, you should call Rainbow Resources, and they can do a free curriculum consult with you over the phone. So if you have any confusion about what you should buy, check out my video on curriculum for homeschoolers. I can help you with that, okay? If you have any questions about like their focus or their, just getting them to sit down and do it, make sure you get my free 7 habits of successful students. And we're going to talk about some things that can even help you with that. I want to encourage you to take the plunge, to give your children the best education you can give them. And as a parent, you're going to champion them more than anyone else. I actually just wrote a really long post about some school trauma that I had starting in kindergarten. And I actually had some form of trauma in every grade. And when I shared that online, my inbox just was all day long going of people sharing their traumatic stories of teachers bullying them, students bullying them getting passed over and over again, sitting in classroom and being so bored, getting in trouble just for being bored. The comments are ongoing, and they're still going, of school trauma. And I just wanted to mention that to you because there's probably a reason that you're looking into homeschooling. Either you want more for your child, you want to tailor their education, you want more time freedom, you want more educational freedom, you've been bullied, they've been bullied, they're getting underserved in the school system, whatever it is. I want to encourage you, do it. Take the plunge, make the sacrifice. You will never ever regret the choice of bringing your children home and homeschooling them and having them with you and knowing they are safe. They're getting the best education possible, tailored to their own interests and their own learning styles, okay? The best thing that you could ever do for your child. All right, you guys have a great day. Reach out, comment, let us know if you have any questions, and make sure to like and follow. We would love to connect with you.